What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. As you guys could no doubt tell from the title, we are going to be covering how to make your photos for your car and all your car photography better. This will be a series of videos that go out that will help you guys with one category at a time. Today, I'm going to give you guys 5 pre-setup tips to get you guys rolling, and then I'll be doing a few shots of the car. Every time I release one of these videos, every shot that I do, that I post in the video, will be done on that day to show you that everything I'm talking about is in real time. So any photo that gets uploaded and added to this video in some way will have been taken on the same day. So to get us started, the 5 tips that I'm going to give you guys as the preset to these actual photography videos is, number 1, make sure your car is clean. It seems simple, but a lot of people tend to skip that. They won't wash their car, or they won't pay attention to the small details as it pertains to having a car look nice. And then when you have a very good camera or a very good lens, a lot of those things that you didn't pay attention to will show up when you take a photo. And that sucks, to have a really, really good photo and then have 1 or 2 little things that throw that off. So tip number 1, make sure that your car is clean. It doesn't take long. Use a waterless wash if you are in a rush, or if you have the time to get that set up, make sure that you wash the car out, dry it so that there are no water spots. Thing number 2, know where you're going. With me, I have this really low car that I've done a lot of work on, and I know I can't take this car everywhere. So what I do is I'll often get into my daily driver, which is a Subaru WRX, and I'll drive around to different locations. And if I see a spot that looks cool, I will see what the venue looks like in terms of driving there, in terms of seeing if I'm even allowed to be on the property. And then once everything looks like it's good to go, I'll then on another day take the car out and get those shots that I want. Today I have the setting of just behind some open parking lot, and this is actually a movie theater here. The movie theater is closed because of quarantine, so there's no cars being parked in the back, so I don't have to worry about anybody disturbing this area. So I knew I was going to come here for this part. Thing number 3, know what shots you have in mind. Now, there's plenty of room to expand and get better shots or get different shots as you get inspired by things that you're doing, but always leave with like at least 4 or 5 shots that you know you want to try to get. So if your job was, for example, if I hired you to do photography for me, I might say, hey, can you make my new wing look really good? I really want to see you highlight that. Or I really want to see you show off the new wheels I got. Make sure that you know what the main subject that you're trying to shoot is. You can get as many photos as you want, but always make sure that you have an idea, because what that'll do is bring you to thing number 4 that I'm going to bring up. I think I'm on number 4. I might be on number 4. Where you set your vehicle. Again, this is set up almost perfectly. I'm going to move it a little bit before I start doing the photography, but if you know what you're trying to highlight, if you know where the places that you're going to go, you know how to orient your car to make everything look exactly the way you want. If you come in with no plan, you're probably just going to park the car somewhere, start taking photos, and you say, oh, I don't like that one. And there's going to be so much wiggling around and trying to get everything to look just perfect. You might end up taking a half hour to do something that you could have saved about 10 to 20 minutes just by having somewhat of a plan. Tip number 5. Make sure you know your subject before. Most of us are car enthusiasts, and most of us like to take photos of all of our cars, but every now and then our friend will ask us to do photos for him. We might get paid to do a photo shoot every now and then, and if you don't know what you're working with, you can very easily mess up a couple of the steps that I said, like knowing where you're going to put it, knowing what you're going to highlight. Things like that can really get in your way. For example, this is a sports car. It's a coupe, it's lowered. There's a lot of things that I know about this car from driving it a lot. What I wouldn't do is take this car and put it in the same position that I would if I was trying to show off a Chevy Avalanche, for example, or a truck, because they belong in 2 different environments. With a truck, what I might do is park it on a dirt hill. I'd have the car or the truck tilted a bit, making it look a little bit more rugged. With this one, I'd be shooting from lower angles and from different spots, because I want the car to be shown in a different type of manner. So with those few tips, even before we start talking about photography itself, make sure that you knock out those few tips in the very, very beginning, because after that, it makes the photography process a lot more enjoyable. You have free reign to do as much as you want when you're taking photos, but it's much better if you can enjoy the photography process. When I do photos with Felicia and do car modeling things, the best times we have are when we follow those 5 steps. Just because when we do it that way, we spend less time trying to figure things out and more time enjoying getting something new, enjoying getting the shot that we really wanted, impressing ourselves with how good something turns out. That being said, that's going to wrap up the first portion of this video, and then I'm going to try to regularly release one video at least a week to help you guys out with different portions of photography. We're going to be covering angles, we're going to be covering car orientation, we're going to be covering shooting during the day, shooting during the night. I want to help you guys with as much as you can. Which reminds me, I said it, I didn't bring it up specifically, but pro tip, make sure you know what time of day you're going to be shooting. Right now it's about 7:30 in the evening, which makes light very easy to work with. My setting is here, but my time is also part of my setting. I would not look, or nor would this car look as good at high noon with the sun straight above us and everything beaming down. It'd be way tougher to work with that light. And at the same time, before I close this out, be prepared to shoot videos in uncomfortable scenarios, especially if somebody's paying you to do it. If somebody says, hey, I have this car I want you to shoot, and I can only give it to you from 12 to 2, well, you're shooting in probably the brightest portion of the day. That doesn't mean that you can't get really good photos. You just have to be a little bit more creative and be a little more open to trying to figure out how to make something look good. We're also gonna be talking about those things. But that being said, guys, that's gonna wrap everything up for the prelude to the next series of videos, which is all about how to get really, really good car photography. I will see you guys in the next one. As always, my name is Will. Make sure you guys follow the Car Couple Instagram at carcouple_ZG. We don't upload as regularly as we would intend to, especially with all the quarantine stuff going on. So make sure you guys press the subscribe button and hit the bell notification so you guys can be notified whenever we do release stuff, because it has been so random. As always, I will see you guys in the next one.
Yeah.